Welcome to Disney Through the Years, a series where we're rewinding to specific years in Disney history. Today, we're diving into 1994, a year filled with blockbuster films, major park changes, and seismic shifts behind the scenes at Disney. Disney kicked off the year on January 7th with the release of The Air Up There from Hollywood Pictures, a fish-out-of-water basketball comedy set in Africa. January 7th also saw the wide release of Cabin Boy, a surreal comedy starring Chris Elliott as an arrogant aristocrat stranded on a fishing boat. And on January 14th, Iron Will hit theaters, a dramatic tale of determination set against the icy backdrop of a grueling sled dog race. Also in January, on the 26th, Disneyland opened Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin in Mickey's Toontown, immersing guests in a zany, dark ride adventure. February brought two comedies, My Father the Hero starring Gerard Depardieu on February 4th, followed by Blank Check on February 11th, in which a young boy accidentally cashes $1 million check and goes on a wild spending spree. Hollywood Pictures followed with Angie on March 4th, a romantic comedy drama starring Gina Davis as a woman navigating unexpected motherhood. March 11th saw the release of The Ref, a dark comedy from Touchstone about a burglar who ends up mediating a feuding couple's holiday meltdown. On March 25th, the Ducks returned with D2 The Mighty Ducks, which took the youth hockey team to the global stage and became a fan favorite. Tragedy struck Disney on April 3rd with the sudden death of company president Frank Wells in a helicopter crash, a loss that would profoundly impact Disney's leadership and future. April 8th brought the quirky Hollywood Pictures comedy Holy Matrimony, followed a week later by White Fang 2, Myth of the White Wolf, a sequel to the 1991 adventure film. Touchstone's coming-of-age drama The Inkwell released on April 22nd, set during a summer vacation in Martha's Vineyard. April 29th delivered When a Man Loves a Woman, a powerful Touchstone drama about marriage and recovery, starring Meg Ryan and Andy Garcia. April 29th also saw the grand opening of Disney's All-Star Sports Resort, the first in a new line of value resorts at Walt Disney World. In the parks, April saw the reopening of the Astro Orbiter on the 30th with a brand new look, replacing the classic Starjets. May also saw the release of the Return of Jafar on home video, a direct-to-video sequel to Aladdin that launched the Aladdin animated series and marked Disney's entry into original video sequels. Finally, in May, on the 28th, Disney's Wilderness Lodge opened in Disney World, adding a new deluxe resort to their rapidly growing portfolio of properties. June brought the debut of the Mickey Mania Parade to Magic Kingdom, celebrating classic Disney characters in a vibrant procession. June 3rd saw the release of Renaissance Man, where Danny DeVito played an out-of-work executive turned unlikely teacher for a group of Army recruits. On June 4th, I Love Trouble hit theaters, a romantic comedy thriller starring Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte. As Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland continued its overhaul, the Tomorrowland Transit Authority debuted its new narration on June 12th, bringing guests deeper into the story of a functioning sci-fi city. Then, on June 15th, Disney roared into theaters with The Lion King. With unforgettable songs, breathtaking animation, and a heartfelt story, it became a global sensation and the highest-grossing film of the year. Epcot debuted the new Innoventions exhibit on July 1st, replacing Communicore with interactive displays focused on future technologies. On July 6th, Epcot officially closed Captain EO to make way for something new in the Imagination Pavilion. Also in July, on the 8th, Magic Kingdom premiered The Legend of the Lion King stage show, retelling the animated classic with elaborate puppetry and special effects. July brought big news behind the scenes as CEO Michael Eisner underwent emergency quadruple bypass surgery, stepping away from his duties temporarily. Later that month, on July 22nd, Walt Disney World debuted the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror at Disney MGM Studios, a groundbreaking drop tower thrill ride that became an instant classic. In late July, Disney opened Merchant of Venus in Tomorrowland, a new retail location themed to intergalactic shopping. On August 12th, In the Army Now premiered, a comedy starring Pauly Shore and Andy Dick as two slackers who find themselves in basic training. August 19th brought the psychological thriller Color of Night, starring Bruce Willis, followed by Camp Nowhere on August 26th, a family comedy about kids creating their own unsupervised summer camp. September 2nd marked the theatrical debut of A Simple Twist of Fate, a dramatic film starring Steve Martin as a solitary man who unexpectedly becomes a father. September 14th saw the release of Quiz Show, a critically acclaimed Hollywood Pictures drama about the 1950s game show scandals. On September 23rd, Terminal Velocity dropped into theaters, a skydiving action thriller from Hollywood Pictures. Also in September, Touchstone released Ed Wood, Tim Burton's black-and-white biopic of the cult filmmaker, starring Johnny Depp on the 28th end. On October 21st, The Puppet Masters hit theaters, a sci-fi thriller about mind-controlling aliens starring Donald Sutherland. October 24th brought the debut of Disney's animated series Gargoyles, a dark mythological series that quickly became a fan favorite. On October 28th, Disney released Squanto, A Warrior's Tale, a historical adventure based on the real-life Native American figure. Also in October, Jeffrey Katzenberg resigned from his position as chairman of Walt Disney Studios after being passed over for promotion. November 9th marked the end of an era as Disneyland permanently closed the skyway between Tomorrowland and Fantasyland. November 11th delivered holiday magic with the Santa Claus, starring Tim Allen as a man who unexpectedly becomes Santa. Just days later, on November 21st, Epcot premiered Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, a new 4D experience that replaced Captain EO. November 21st also saw the official debut of The Timekeeper, a 360-degree circle vision film in Tomorrowland, starring Robin Williams as a time-traveling robot. November 22nd marked the official opening of Disney's All-Star Music Resort. Then, on November 23rd, Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress reopened at Magic Kingdom with updated scenes and a new theme. Also on November 23rd, Touchstone released A Low Down Dirty Shame on December 1st, a comedic action film starring Keenan Ivory Wayans. Disney video games saw strong releases throughout the year, including The Lion King, Mickey Mania, Bonkers, and the Aladdin Activity Center. Disney TV was just as vibrant, with the premieres of Aladdin the series and Walt Disney World Inside Out bringing new adventures and behind-the-scenes fun to fans. On December 25th, Disney closed the year with the release of The Jungle Book, a live-action adaptation of the animated classic, featuring Jason Scott Lee as Mowgli. With the launch of New Tomorrowland, 1994 also saw the openings of Anti-Gravity's Galactic Goodies, Cool Ship, and Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe, all themed dining and refreshment spots supporting Tomorrowland's retro-futuristic transformation. Throughout 1994, Disney navigated enormous creative success and corporate change, from box office triumphs to Tomorrowland's reinvention and high-level executive shifts. It was a year that redefined the company's trajectory. Thank you for joining me in revisiting Disney's unforgettable journey through 1994. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more magical years ahead in Disney through the years.